Okay, so you want to open your law firm, you've been thinking about it, you've been trying to plan for it and figure out what you need to do and how you need to do it. And you're not sure how long does it take to open your law firm? Well, I mean, technically you can open your law firm next week if you really wanted to. You really could. For most of my clients, usually we're taking a little bit more time to get their law firm open. For a lot of my clients, they are maybe leaving a firm, or they're coming back from maybe maternity leave, or they're coming out of law school and they know that opening their own law firm is their next step, and I'm here to help them with that process. I'm Darcel Lobo. I own Dell Coaching and Consulting. I am an attorney. I have my own law firm. I opened my law firm in 2016. Been about 9 years now. And I also do consulting and coaching work, helping lawyers who want to open and manage a law firm in a way that supports their lives and how they want to live their life. For most of my clients, they are juggling their professional work with their personal lives and their families, and they really want more control over their time and their schedule, and I help them form a law firm that works for them. So let's talk about how to open the law firm as far as a timeline and what that looks like, okay? I mean, if you wanted to open your law firm next week, you really could. You could, form your corporate entity, register it with the state, get an EIN number from the IRS, open your bank accounts, get the city license if you need one in your city, get malpractice insurance, you get your bank accounts opened, and you've got a law firm. Now, there's some more to it than that, but that is the bare bones of getting a law firm open and what it requires. Now, there's more to it than that, right? There's, figuring out your name, getting a website domain, getting your website built out, getting your email set up, there's more to it than that. But if you wanted to know how fast can you open a law firm, it could be next week if you wanted to. So, to really have a successful law firm, though, we really want to lay a good foundation for the firm and put together a plan that's going to guide us as we navigate this journey of law firm ownership. When I went out on my own, I was working at a small law firm when I was going out on my own, and I gave myself about 6 months. Now, to be honest, I had been thinking about going out on my own for like a good 2 years before I did. But it was about a 6-month mark where it was like, okay, like I picked my date and I was working on that timeline to open in 6 months. So my opening date was March 1st, 2016. So it was about the end of September, early October when I had decided on my March 1st date. And once you picked your date, you kind of work backwards as far as where you are now, how much time you have, and what you need to do, and the checklist and your timeline for doing so. I would say a good timeline is probably a good 3-ish months. I gave myself 6 months. I didn't need that time really, but in the moment, the thought of opening my own law firm just seemed like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not sure how to navigate this. I don't know where to go, and just trying to figure that all out. And I feel like nowadays, even though it's been 9 years, like there's a lot more resources out there for lawyers who want to go out on their own and opening the business and how to do so, because at least for me, I didn't learn that in law school. There was no like how to open a law firm course. And to be honest with you, when I was in law school, I probably wouldn't have even taken that course. So, because it was never my plan. It was never my plan to own my own law firm, but just the way my legal career the way things transpired, having kids, and just, it became the most logical choice for me at a certain point in my career. And it really has been the best decision I ever made, not just for my career, but for myself as an individual. And there's no way I could ever go back. I mean, you're supposed to never say never, but I feel pretty confident in saying never, that I would ever go back to being someone's employee again after, figuring out how to run a law firm that supports me and allows me the flexibility that I need. I take my kids to school every day. I pick them up from school most days I do have some help with picking up kids. I go to the PTA meetings. I'm there for when my daughter had Girl Scouts. I'm at my kids, basketball games. Like, I'm able to do those things, but I have very carefully curated my law firm in a way that allows me to do so. And so if you're like me and navigating this journey when you're trying to juggle work, spouse, kids, you have all these things that are, competing for your time, right? That I think having a good solid 3 months from when you've decided to open your law firm and your actual law firm date. So the first thing that you need to do, if you have not done so already, is pick your date. What is the date that your law firm is going to exist? Because you're going to have to work backwards from there, okay? Because you're going to need time to do the legwork. So for me, when I opened my law firm, I didn't have a bunch of money to be able to do so. And I'll share my video below about my budget to open my law firm. It was small and I didn't have a bunch of money. I didn't use debt, no loans, no credit cards, like nothing. And so I was very scrappy when it came to my spending. I wasn't spending more on anything that I really needed. I didn't buy a lot of software. I didn't pay for a lot of SEO work. I built my own, well, I say built, but I designed my own website on Squarespace. I think it was like $150 to do my own website. Now I have a bigger FindLaw website, but I didn't do that until I had the revenue coming in to support that bigger and better website that I have now. When I went out on my own, I was doing all the things on my own. I didn't hire anyone until I had the revenue coming in to support paying someone to help me in the law firm. So I was doing everything in the law firm, including answering my own phones, which is the first thing that you need to take off your to-do list once you've opened your law firm, once you have some revenue coming in, is getting a virtual receptionist. But that's for a different video, a different day. Right now we're talking about your timeline to open your law firm, okay? Because when you open your firm, you're doing everything. You're doing your consultations, you're doing the legal work, you're doing the marketing, you're doing, the HR, you are, doing your invoice, like you're doing everything. And so the more that you can do before you open your law firm, the better, because once you open your law firm, you are hitting the ground and you are running and you are moving to get clients in the door, right? So before you open, that's when you're creating your content. If you're going to write blogs, writing up the content for your website, if you're going to do videos, like you are doing all those things before you've opened your law firm, so that once you've opened a law firm, you can set those things on autopilot and those things will post on their own. You're doing your groundwork as far as networking and reaching out to colleagues and potential referral sources and mentors and things like that, okay? And so I help my, lawyer clients who are navigating that journey and sharing, with them what I did, what other clients have done, what works, what doesn't work. I'm sharing with you my templates, my forms on engagement agreements and my internal processes and how I do things. But again, when you're going out on your own, we're not spending a bunch of money on software and programs and things. I mean, unless you have the budget to do it, then great, more power to you. That's amazing for you. I didn't have that, and so I do things when it comes to opening a law firm on, what do we need? And then when we have the money coming in, then we can do more with our firm once we have the revenue to support it. And so if you need help opening your law firm, feel free to reach out. I offer a free consult to see if we're a good fit, to see if I can help you. If you have opened your law firm, but you find yourself, you're kind of drowning in the business side of running the law firm, I'm happy to help you as well. For all my clients, they are great lawyers. They're amazing lawyers, but they need some help on the business side, right? And that's where I come in. That's where I help them with running the business of a law firm. So I hope this helps. If you are opening your law firm and looking for your timeline, let's start by picking your date. What is the date you're going to open your law firm? Let's get that on the calendar, and then we work backwards from there and figuring out what do you need to do. If you don't know what you need to do or when to do it or how to do it, you reach out. I'm happy to help you. All right, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.